Hello friends, I am Hitesh Hariramani, and in this session I am going to solve for you 19 problems based on algebra taken from CAT 2018 paper, which is morning and noon slot combined. Before I start solving these problems, I'll suggest you that you go to the description section of this video. There you will find a PDF link for these problems. Try and solve these problems and then come back for better methods. Let me start this. First problem. Let x, y, and z be three positive real numbers in geometric progression such that x is less than y is less than z, 5 times of x, 16 times of y, 12 times of z are in arithmetic progression. Then the common ratio of the geometric progression is. So what I understand here is I need to assume three terms in GP, then multiply some coefficients, put them in AP, and from there find the common ratio. X, Y, and Z, that is, are in the increasing order. That tells me A, AR, AR square. And R needs to be above 1 because it is an increasing GP. That tells me because I'm looking for R, option 1 and option 4 are gone. Only possibilities are option 2 and option 3. So two options are directly out of the window. Now I need to make this 5 times, this 16 times, and this 12 times. And they are now in a AP. The property of AP is twice of the middle term should be equal to sum of adjacent terms. Now see, A is common on both sides. I can take out A common and remove this directly. So what I end up with is 12r square minus 32r plus 5 is equal to 0. Here you have to make a choice. Either you replace one of those values or you try to factorize this equation or you try to find roots of this equation. Let me show you a trick to factorize equations faster when there's a coefficient in front of the square. See, in this case, I'll take product of my roots as product of first and last term, that is 60, and this is taken as a plus b is equal to, you have to always invert the sign of the middle term when equating with the addition of roots, that is 32. So this appears to me as 30 into 2 and 30 plus 2, but these are not your roots. The roots are 30 by 12 and 2 by 12. This coefficient that you multiplied at the end will be brought back to divide these terms. This is 6 into 5, 6 into 2, and this is 1 by 6. As the question clearly says, y is more than x and z is more than y. It is an increasing GP. So 1 by 6 is not a possible value for r. It has to be 5 by 2. It is totally your choice. You could have tried and replace a value here as well. That will also work fine. The trick I'm trying to show you here is multiply first and the last term whenever there's a coefficient in front of the square. Let us try the next problem. A log based problem. If x is a positive quantity, then 2 to the power x is equal to 3 log, there's a slight typing mistake here, this is 2 base 5. This is 2 base 5. It is basically written as 2 to the power x is equal to 3 to the power log of 2 base 5. Then we are trying to find the value of x. So what I understand here is I should perform logs on both sides. I should apply logs on both sides. So if I do that, I will have x log 2 is equal to log 2 base 5 log 3. Now when you have log of a number and base, that is basically division between two logarithms. that tells me I can cancel log 2. So what I get here is x is equal to log of 3 base 5. This should be my answer. But when I look at these answer options, I do not see an answer that suits this representation. That means answer options have been manipulated to some degree. I see 5, I see 3 should be the upper term and 5 should be the base. I see similar representation here. Let me try to work with this. I have got here, I've got option as 1 plus log of 3 base 5 minus log of 5 base 5, which is 1. So this is gone, this is gone, this is my answer. What property did I apply here? If I have log of A divided by B base C, I can rewrite that as log of A base C minus log of B base C. In this case, B and C were equal, so I'm able to cancel it out. So my answer is option 4. I've shared with you guys solutions of 2017 and 2016 papers of CAT algebra section. Notice whatever questions of logs are there are about your ability to handle the base of the log. So if you have some time, visit the playlist. There you will find 2016 and 17 papers of CAT algebra part. 2016 paper is memory based. Let us try another problem. What I see here is x to the power a very large number, y to the power a large number. Same goes here, equal to some constants. And I'm trying to find squares and cubes of x and y. This tells me I should be able to find x and y uniquely. Otherwise, I will not be able to calculate x square and y cube. So, first thing that comes to my mind is to reduce these powers. How can I go about this? I've got x to the power 2018, y to the power 2017, that is given to me as half. If I divide it by the second term, x to the power 2016, y to the power 2019, and 8 in the denominator. So on the constant side, I've got 1 by 16. On the left hand side, see the difference between these powers is 2. And difference between these powers is also 2. But the power in the lower part of the denominator is more. So this is what I get as x upon y. If I take a square root, I will have x upon y as plus minus 1 by 4. Or I can say y is equal to plus minus 4x. From here, I can put value of y in the first equation or the second equation and I can find x. Let me try this here. If I put this value of y in the first equation, I've got x to the power 2018 multiplied by plus minus 4 x to the power 2017 is equal to 1 by 2. If I rearrange that, please observe, this is basically 2 square. When it goes in the upper part, it will become twice of this power. So I will have x to the power, see, power of x will be added. I will have 4035 into plus minus 2 to the power 4034 is equal to 1 by 2. If I cross multiply this, I will have x to the power 4015 is equal to 1 upon plus minus 2 to the power 4035. As the power is odd, I can simply cancel this out. So I will have x is equal to either plus or minus 1 by 2 and I will have y is equal to, if I put that value for y here, y is equal to 4 times of this, that is y is equal to plus minus 2. So what I will have here is, see, in this case, I will have x to the power square. So plus minus half ka square is 1 by 4 and I will have y ka cube. I can have 2 ka cube or I can have minus 2 ka cube. Both are valid here guys. So what I will have is 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 8. That gives me 33 upon 4. What I will have here is 1 upon 4 minus 8. That is 1 minus 32. That is minus 31 by 4. Luckily, among the options, there is no value for negatives. So the only option possible here is option 1. Let us try the next problem. Okay. This representation is fx is minimum of 2x square, comma 52 minus 5x. X is any positive real number. Then the maximum possible value of fx is. This kind of question has become very common in CAT since last 4 years. You should be able to plot a rough graph for this. The idea here is there are two equations inside. So there are two graphs going to be plotted on xy axis and I'm going to give the minimum value of the two as the outcome to the function. Minimum value out of the two means the lower value in the graph. So this is a quadratic. I'm looking for x being positive real number. So 2x square will be plotted in this manner. This is 52 minus 5x. When x is equal to 0, I will have an intercept at the height of 52. As x increases, this will start to fall. So this is the point where they are both equal. See, you will have to always assign the lower value to the function. See, on the left hand side, this is the lower graph. On the right hand side, this is the lower graph. So this black line that you see and the black curve that you see is the equation of the function, and this is the peak of the function. That is the function's maxima. To find this, you must find the intercept, that is x, and y is your answer. So to answer this, I must equate these two equations. If I rearrange, what I will have is 2x square plus 5x minus 52 is equal to 0. And few minutes back, I have shown you how to solve this. Multiply first and the last term. Product of roots a into b is minus 104. And the central term is always inverted. A plus b is minus 5. So the best way would be factorize this. This is 4 into 26 or 8 into 13. Please observe 8 into 13. Because I want the addition to be negative, I want minus 13 plus 8 and minus 13 into 8. These are my roots. Now, because I'm looking for positive values, my root is going to be 8 by 2. I've told you in the previous question as well, 13 and 8 are not your roots. You have to divide back by 2. So, x is equal to 4 guys is the point of intersection between them. Put that value in any one of the equation, your answer is ready. If I put x is equal to 4 in the first equation, this is the function ka maxima. If I put 4 in this, I will have 2 into 4 ka square 16, 32. That is my answer. Now, this was a theta question. Type in the answer. The idea behind this question is you have to thoroughly solve it. You cannot replace options. These questions were introduced about 4 years back to test your ability to solve problems. Otherwise, a lot of people are using tricks to solve problems or replacing options. To avoid that, such questions were introduced. Your answer is 32. Now, what do I see here? I see log of 81 base 12 is equal to P, and what I see on the right hand side is 3 times of 4 minus P upon 4 plus P. So almost everyone will try to simplify the value of P and put it here and get the answer. I want you to observe some pattern first. Do you see what is written in the bracket? Looks like application of dividendo and componendo. Furthermore, do you see it can be created if P is in the denominator? See, by finding value of P, I can go for layman's approach and give you the answer. But here I see if I'm in a position to find this, I must apply dividendo and componendo. I want P in the denominator. That means I want 1 upon P. That gives me log of 12 base 81. See, when you invert these values, the logarithm inverts. This I can further write as this is 2 square into 3 and this is 3 to the power 4. So I can write this as 2 log 2 plus log of 3 divided by 4 log 3. Now, do you see I want 4 in the numerator? So if I transfer this 4 on the left hand side, I will have 4 upon P is equal to 2 log 2 plus log 3 upon log 3. Now on this equation, I need to apply dividendo and componendo. See, because I want 4 minus P, this denominator will go up and get subtracted. 2 log of 2 plus log of 3 minus log of 3 divided by. In the denominator, I want 4 plus P. So this will go up and will get added. This will become 2 log 2 plus log of 3 plus log of 3. So here I have got my left hand term. I need to make it 3 times to get the answer. This is gone, this is gone, this has become 2 log 3. 2 log 3, 2 log 2. So I can rewrite that as 2 common log of 2 into 3, that is 2 log of 6. And the numerator is basically 2 log of 2, that is also cancelled. So when I make the left hand side 3 times, I will make this also 3 times. So this will go in the numerator, this will become the power. 2 cube is 8. So you will end up with the answer of log of 8 base 6. This will be your answer. This entire question is again based on your ability to break down logs. And this is second question of logs from the morning slot of 2018 paper. Every year, there are usually two or three problems from logarithms in CAT every slot since last 3 years. Let us try the next problem. What I see here is a representation of a function f of x plus 2 is equal to fx plus fx plus 1 for all positive integers x. f11 is equal to 91, f15 is equal to 617, then f10 equals. Again a theta based question, so you cannot guess, you cannot put options and check. What I notice here is this tells me the current value of the function is equal to addition of the previous two values of the function. This sounds familiar. This sounds like Fibonacci series. In a Fibonacci series, if the first term is A, second term is B, the next term must be A plus B, the next term must be A plus 2B, and so on and so forth. You keep adding the previous two terms to generate the next term. That is exactly what the equation says. F of x plus 2 is equal to fx plus fx plus 1. Here, I don't have to start from f1. I want the value of f10. I have got the hint of f91 and f15. So if I start with f10, go to f11, f12, 13, 14 and 15, I should have my answer. If I take this value as a, this is given to me as 91. So the next value will be a plus 91. 13, f13 will be addition of these two. That will be a plus 182. Next value will be addition of these two. So I will have twice of a and thrice of this. That will be 3, 2, 7. If I go to the next value, it will be addition of these two. So I've got a and 2a. So f15 will be 3a plus addition of 182 and 273. 2 and 3, 5. 8 and 7, 15 carried over 1, that is 4. This is given to me as 617. So when I subtract 5 subtract from 7, 2, 5 subtract from 1 carried over, that will give me 6, 162 is equal to 3a. If I cancel, this is 5 times 4 times. So what is a? 54. What is a? F10, that is 54. This is my answer. Even if I do not know what is Fibonacci series, I should still be able to solve this problem because it clearly says add the previous two values to generate the current value of the function. So F11 is given to me, F10 I need to find, assume it as any variable and start adding. Answer is 54. A question based on squares of equations. Some equation is given to me, u square plus u minus 2v minus 1 to the whole square is equal to minus 4v bracket u plus v. Then what is the value of u plus 3v? Alright. If I'm looking for a unique value for u plus 3v, there's a possibility that I should be able to create u plus 3v ka square is equal to a constant, or I should be able to create a separate square for u, a separate square for v, and then make it equal to a 0. Whenever you come across questions on squares, it is highly likely that it is about completing squares, either u and v together or u and v separate. So let me try this. Let me expand this for you. I have got u square plus, this is a, b and c. So a square, b square, c square plus 2ab plus 2ac let me rearrange this. This will be 2u and plus 4v. That is equal to minus 4vu and minus 4v square. I see 4uv, 4uv is cancelled. There is no other term that combines u and v. That means this is not going to be my path. See, if there's a term combining u and v, that means I have a combined square of u plus v or u minus v. There is no term remaining on the board or on the screen that contains uv together. That means I'm looking for separate squares. I'm looking for a separate square for u, separate square for v. Let me rearrange this. Here I have got 2u square. I have got 4v square and minus 4v square. So I have got 8v square. This plus 1 I am keeping aside. I have got plus 4v and I have got minus 2u. This looks like a straightforward case. See, the left hand side equation looks like, if I could take out 2 common, I will have u square minus u. Whatever is in the middle, take half of it, square, add and subtract. In the middle I have got minus 1. Half is minus half. Cos square is 1 by 4 added and subtracted. Let me complete this first for you. So what I have here on the left hand side is twice of u minus 1 by 2 cos square. So all of these are taken care of. This minus 1 by 4 into 2 will become minus 1 by 2. Now please understand, when you are creating two separate squares, you are looking for 0 on the right side. So I should be able to cancel this. I should be able to cancel this. See, what I am doing here is, I am not taking 4 common. I am taking 2 common. That gives me 4v square plus 2v. Now this is 2v square. This is 2v square. So again, I'm adding 1 by 4 and I'm subtracting 1 by 4. See what that does for me is, these three combined have become 2v plus 1 by 2 cos square. And this one multiplied here has become minus 1 by 2 plus 1 plus 1. This one is outside. I have not touched this so far. Is equal to 0 is equal to 0. This tells me this minus half, and this plus 1 add up to 0. See, to make this and this 0, I must have u is equal to half and v is equal to minus 1 by 4. I should make 2v is equal to minus half, v is equal to minus 1 by 4. Now, to get my final answer, I wanted the answer for, let me scroll it up. I want the answer for u plus 3v. I am getting u as 1 by 2 and I'm getting v as minus 1 by 4. So this is going to be my answer. The LCM between both is 4. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1 by 4. Guys, minus 1 by 4 is answer option 2. Again, let me start this one more time or state this one more time. Whenever dealing with squares, you have to make a choice. You're looking for squares of x and y or u and v together, or you're looking for individual squares. Who will decide whether there's a term available combining two variables or not? If there's a term combining two variables, you're looking for their squares together. If not, you're looking for their squares separate. So our answer for u plus 3v is minus 1 by 4. Let us try the next problem. What I see here is a long equation with a variable a. I see a long equation with variable a and b both. I want a plus b. So this question is based on my ability to find a and b or to bring a and b in a single equation. See, if you come across log of x base y is equal to z and you decide to cancel the log, the base will be raised by the power z. This is going to be the term after log has been cancelled. Here I see if I cancel this, this 2 will be raised by power 3. 2 cube will be same as 5 plus log a base 3. That is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. So what I have is this. When I cancel this further, this 3 will be raised by power 3. So I will have a is equal to 27. Again, this is the third problem of logs from the morning slot of 2018. And this also is based on your ability to handle base of the log. If I cancel this log, 5 will be raised by power 3. So what I will have is 4a plus 12 plus log b base 2 is equal to 5 cube, which is 125. I have already got the value of a as 27. If I put 27 here, I will have 108. 108 plus 12 is 120. If I subtract, I will have 5. Guys, always think about what is the next step. You will be able to save a lot of time. This subtracted here, I will have 5. See, I was able to do all of this with some mental maths, but I am writing it on the screen for your help or for your guidance. Cancel this. 2 will be raised by power 5. So I will have b is equal to 2 to the power 5. Why do I have to write this? I can say 2 to the power 5 directly is 32. So I've got a, I've got b. So what is the sum of both? A plus b is 27 plus 32, 59. Answer option 3. Third problem on logs in the same slot, morning slot. Let us try the next problem. Now we are entering the second slot. A and b are integers such that a quadratic equation is more than 0, another quadratic equation is more than equal to 0 for all real numbers x. Then what is the largest possible value of this? Now, as a simple rule, whenever you come across a quadratic always positive, this is a quadratic always positive. That means your graph of parabola is hanging in the air. That means delta is negative. Whenever you have a quadratic more than equal to 0, that means your graph of parabola or quadratic can touch the axis and leave. Can touch the axis and leave. That means the delta is either less than 0 or equal to 0. Understand? This is theory of quadratics. If you are aware of this, then only go into this question, otherwise skip it. Now what is delta? Square of middle term minus 4 times of first and the last term. I want it to be below 0. So what I get here is a square is less than 16. I get a as between 4 and minus 4. Whenever a square is below a constant, it opens between positive negative both. Here the middle term is b square minus 4 times of first and the last term, that is 8. I want it to be less than equal to 0. I have got b square less than equal to 32. Now, what square? See, because they are integers, what square comes less than 32 but closer to 32? 4 square 16, 5 square 25, 6 square 36. I cross the limit. So in terms of integer values, b will be between 5 and minus 5. Pay attention. I want b square to be below 32. So I need to have 5 square. 6 square crosses the limit. Now, I have got the range for A as well as B. What is expected? Find the largest possible value. For largest possible value, because A has a positive coefficient, I want A to be largest possible. See, A cannot be 4. A can be maximum 3. So I'm using A as 3. Because B has a negative coefficient, if I have a negative value inside, it will add up further. So I'm using B as largest negative available to me, that is minus 5. So what I have here is 6 plus 30, that is 36, is the maximum value of 2A minus 6B. Again, a theta question. Type in the answer. If you are aware of these two concepts, then only even think of solving this problem, otherwise skip it. Let us try the next problem. This form has repeated couple of times in CAT. Please focus. I have got power of one term, power of second term, power of third term is equal to power of another term. I have got a logarithm of product of P, Q and R with the base of S. And I see all the answer options are constant. That means I should be able to cancel the log. That means I should be able to put PQR product in the form of S. If I can do that, my answer would be ready. Again, you have to observe or think what is the next step. See, I have got P cube is equal to S key power 6. So can I say P would be S key power 2? I have got Q to the power 4 as S to the power 6. I can transfer the power. I will have Q is equal to S to the power 6 by 4. These are going to multiply. So powers are going to be added. R I can write as S to the power 6 by 5. So I have got S to the power 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 6 by 5. I get the LCM of 10. So 10 into 2 20, 5 into 3 15 and 2 into 6 12. So what I have here is for you 47 by 10 is the power of S. So if I put that here, if I put this as S to the power 47 by 10, S base S will be cancelled. My answer will be 47 by 10. In almost all such questions, if you have a to the power x is equal to b to the power y is equal to c to the power z, you either convert a in the form of c, b in the form of c, or you equate all with a new number and then solve further. So guys, these are the two golden rules for solving all such problems. Please observe. This was the first question the second question that we have come across from the noon slot of CAT 2018. What does this say? The value of the sum 7 into 11, 11 into 15 up to 95 into 99 is. Now this looks like a problem where I need to find general pattern. Can I find general pattern? This looks like a AP. So first term looks like a AP. 7 into 11, 11 into 15, 15 into 19, up to 95 into 99. Please observe. If I start from this, I am dealing with large numbers. I see plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Please observe what I am doing here. I am going one step back. I am counting this extra. So I will subtract this value at the end to get my final answer. Why? Now I see this number is 4 ka multiple minus 1. This number 4 into 2 minus 1. This number is 4 into 3 minus 1. So directly I simplified my first term. And what is here? Plus 4. So 4n minus 1 plus 4. So what I have here is 4n minus 1 multiplied by 4n plus 3. If I rearrange that, I will have 16n square. This multiplied here will give me 12n. 12n minus 4n is 8n minus 3. See, this minus 21 I am not touching. I'll bring it back at the end. Forget that part. This is not there. This is my general term Tn for the sequence. I need to add this. Now, how many times do I need to add this? See, this is 4 into 24 minus 1. So from here till here, I have got 24 terms. So I need to apply summation on Tn. That means 16 common summation of n square, 8 common summation of n, minus 3 common summation of 1. How many times? 24 times. Summation of 24 squares is 24 into 25 into 49 upon 6. What formula am I applying? n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 is the sum of squares. 8 common. This will be 24 into 25 by 2. n into n plus 1 by 2, and 3 will be added 24 times. This is the sum of all terms till this point. Till this point I've added everything. I need to subtract 21 from all of this to get my final answer. Now guys, this calculation that I've reached has to be performed with the help of a calculator, or it will take a lot of time. But observe, 4 times, 12 times. When I look at my answer options, all the digits in the units place are distinct. I might be able to do something about it. Please observe. 4 into 6 into 5 into 9. See, even number multiplied by 5 has to end with a 0. 8 into 2 into 5. Again, even number multiplied by 5 has to end with a 0. 3 into 4, that is 12. So minus 2 in the end and minus 1 in the end. So 0 minus 3 will definitely end with a 7. So which answer option is ending with a 7? I would not have applied this trick if the question was theta. Makes no sense. I would not have applied this trick if answer options had different units place. Here, because the unit place of answer options is same, I am able to match the units position. Furthermore, assuming this term made my life a lot simpler. Otherwise, I would have to solve the question in this form. And I'll be dealing with 16n square plus. This is 28 and 12. That is 40 times of n and then 21. I'm dealing with very large coefficients and constants. Here I'm dealing with a smaller coefficient. with just help of minus 21 at the end. Learn these things, guys. Learn these things. This will be very beneficial when you solve live problems in CAT. Let us try the next problem. A is equal to 6 to the power 2n minus 35n minus 1, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. B is equal to 35 n minus 1, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Which of the following is true? Every member of B is in A, every member of A is in B, and at least one member of B is not in A. Neither every member of A is in B, nor every member of B is in A. At least one member of A is not in B. So here I can solve this problem, I think, in two ways. One is put 1, 2, 3 for n and see what is going on. Second that I can think of is you expand this term and see what happens. See, if I put n is equal to 1, I get on the left hand side 36 minus 35 minus 1, that is 0, that is A. On the right side I get B, that is again 0. So A and B are same values. If I put n is equal to 2, what I have here is 6 to the power 4, guys, is 1296 minus 70 minus 1, that is minus 71. So 5 here, 29 minus 7 is 1, 2, 2, 5. This is a square of 35. If I put 2 here, I have got 35. Basically, B is going to be a multiple of 35, and notice here I have got a square. So at one point or other, you will have 35 ka square in B, but when you put when you put n is equal to 3, you will have 70. You don't have that value here in A. Value of A, which is 35 square, is going to be in B, but value of B, which is 70 for n is equal to 3, is not available in A. So every member of A is in B, but at least one member of B, for me 70, is not in A. Answer option B makes perfect sense. All I did was replace values of n is equal to 1 and 2 and then try and generalize some conclusion. More. I can write this as 36 to the power n minus 35n minus 1 for terms in A. That is 35 plus 1 to the power n minus 35n minus 1 is the term of A. This I can apply as a binomial expansion. 35 to the power n plus n into 35 to the power n minus 1 and so on so forth, so on so forth. 35 into n plus 1 minus 35n minus 1. Cancelled, 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 cancelled. That means every term in A is a multiple of 35 to the power minimum 2 or above. Because the term before this will be n into n minus 1 by 2 into 35 ka square. This is advanced application of theorem called binomial. If you're aware of this stuff, you could have gone on this road as well, but this is slightly complex. Left hand side, it is easier to generalize. Observe the expansion here, put in some effort. We are going to the next problem. Now, what does this question say? There are two sets A and B. Let A delta B denote the set of elements which belong to either A or B but not both. If P is equal to, Q is equal to, R is equal to, S is equal to, some sets are written, then the number of elements in the set P delta Q delta R delta S. We want those elements which are part of either A or B but not both. Guys, this is called exclusive OR in technical terms. So I'm going to perform P delta Q. You don't even have to rewrite everything. All you have to do is cancel the common terms. So P delta Q is 1, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to perform R delta S. I'm going to simply cancel common terms. Common term is 9. I do not see any other common term here. So R delta S is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 and 10. I'm going to perform same operation on these combined. So I'm going to cancel common part. 1 is gone, 4 is gone. So what remains? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 10. The question was how many elements are there in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So number of elements in this overall set is 7. This was the question. Find the number of elements in P delta Q delta R delta S. A fairly easy problem. Let us try the next one. What does this say? Arithmetic mean of XYZ is 80 and that of XYZUV is 75, where U is equal to X plus Y by 2 and V is equal to Y plus Z by 2. If X is more than equal to Z, what is the minimum possible value of X? While I'm reading this problem, it sounds like a maxima minima based question. But when you give me arithmetic means, this is arithmetic means, arithmetic mean. I think this is a question based on averages. I'll directly go for sum of values. See, average of three numbers is 80. The sum must be 240. There are five numbers and their average is 75. So, sum of these five numbers should be 5 times of this. That is 5 carried over to 375. This tells me U and V combined. U and V combined are 135. Because these are combined 240, I've got 375. So U and V are combined 135. Furthermore, U is X plus Y by 2 and V is Y plus Z by 2. I need this to be equal to 135. So basically I have got X plus Y plus Z, please observe, plus Y. When I cross multiply this two, I will have 270. What I'm trying to achieve here is I have got the value of X plus Y plus Z, that is 240. I have got the value of Y now, which is 30. Now if Y is 30, X plus Z is 210. You want X to have minimum possible value, but you want it to be more than or equal to Z. So the best way to achieve that is make them equal. Because if you decrease Z, your X will start to increase. To minimize X, you will have to make X and Z both equal. So this is your answer, guys. The minimum value of X is 105. Again, on the onset, it looked like a maxima minima based question, but it turned out to be a question based on basic averages. You would have seen a similar question in the morning slot. I think a couple of minutes back I solved a problem like this for you. Let fx be maximum of two given equations. See, that is 5x comma 52 minus 2x square. That is the maximum value of fx. X is any positive real number. Again, we are looking for positive value for x. Then we are being asked find the minimum value of fx. So you will have to plot a rough graph in this case. Y-axis, x-axis, 5x, y is equal to 5x will be a straight line with a slope of 5. This is the line for, this is the graph for y is equal to 5x. 52 minus 2x square. If I put x is equal to 0, it will intercept here. And as x increases, the graph will start to fall. See, I'm interested only in the positive side of the x-axis because it says x is a positive real number. Now, as we have talked about this earlier, the wording outside the bracket tells me, the wording outside the bracket says maxima. Maxima means the upper graph. On the right side, this is the upper graph. So this does not exist. On the left side, this curve is the upper graph. So this does not exist. So this intersection point is the function ka minimum. For that, I will have to find x and put it back in the equation. So again, I'm going to equate both sides. If I rearrange, I will have 2x square plus 5x minus 52 is equal to 0. How to solve this? Product of roots is equal to minus 104 and sum of roots is equal to minus 5. So factors of 104 that differ by 5. Again 13 and 8. When the addition is negative, that means the larger number is negative. That says A is minus 13 and B is 8. But these are not the roots. Your roots are minus 13 by 2. See, you multiplied this 2 in the end, so you'll have to divide by 2 at the end. So as we are looking for only positive values, this is the invalid root. This is 4. So this is the point where x is equal to 4. If I put that 4 in the function, I will have my answer. So minimum value of the function is achieved when you put 4 in any one of these. It is easier to put 4 here. So 5 into 4, that is 20. Again, a theta based question. No guesswork allowed, guys. Let us start the next problem. See, what we have here is 1 upon log 100 base 2 minus 1 upon log 100 base 4 log 100 base 5 log 100 base 10 log 100 base 20 log 100 base 25 log 100 base 50. After adding and subtracting all these values, I am getting constants. That implies I would be able to cancel logs and get constants out of it. How can I go about it? See, I can simply rewrite this as log of 2 divided by log of 2 divided by log of 100. This one I can write as minus log 4. Next one I can write as plus log 5. Next one I can write as minus log 10. Next one I can write as plus log 20 minus log 25 plus log 50. Observe, this is log of A plus log of B. I can rewrite it as log of A into B. This minus sign here and minus sign here I can write common. I will get log of 4 into 25. This 10 I am keeping as it is, that is log 10 is 1. 5 and 20 will again give me log of 5 into 20 divided by log of 100. What is log of 100? Log of 100 is 2. So what I have here in the numerator for you is log 100, which is 2, minus log 100, which is again 2. So both are cancelled out. Log 100, which is 2. So I have got for you 2 minus 1 upon 2. So your answer is 1 upon 2. What property did I apply in the first step? If you come across log of A base B, it is same as 1 upon log of B base A. How do I know that I must apply this property? I see 100 is common in every term. So if I reverse this, I will have log 100 common in all the terms. So your answer is 1 by 2. This is, I think, the second question from the afternoon slot based on logarithms. Let us go further. Let T1, T2 and so on be real numbers such that T1 plus T2 and so on up to Tn addition is 2n square plus 9n plus 13 for every positive integer more than equal to 2. If Tk is equal to 103, then k equals. Again a theta based question, nothing to replace. Here I want you to understand that you have been directly given sum of a sequence and you want a specific term of the sequence. Observe, if I give you T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to, let us say, some number 10, and if I give you T1 plus T2 is equal to, let us say, 7, Can I say subtracting both, I will immediately have T3 is equal to 3? Think on similar lines. You are looking for a value Tk to be 103. I have got a general term here for summation. So what I will try to do here is, if this was T1 plus T2 plus T3 up to Tk, I will have 2k square plus 9k plus 13. But if there was another sequence T1 plus T2 plus T3 up to Tk minus 1, just the previous term, I will have twice of k minus 1 square plus 9 times k minus 1 plus 13. If I subtract both, I will directly get the value of Tk. And what will I have? See, this is 2k square minus, this will expand as k square minus 2k plus 1. This is 9k minus 9k plus 9. This 9 when multiplied in reverse will become plus 9, and 13 and 13 will be cancelled. So what I have here is, this is also gone. What I have for you here is 2k square cancelled out. I have got 4k minus 2 plus 9, and that value is given to me as 103. So if I rearrange this, what I will have is 4k is equal to, this is plus 7, when 7 subtracted I will have 96, I will have k is equal to 24. The question was, what is k? I am getting k as 24. What is the learning objective of this? When you have sum of a sequence and you are looking for a specific term within that sequence, you write down the sum up to nth term, you write down the sum up to n minus 1th term and subtract both. You will have the Tn. I could have applied this approach and find the general term of the sequence as well. I don't want a general term. I wanted k. Which term is going to be 103? 24th term is going to be 103. What do we have here? The smallest integer n such that n cube minus 11n square plus 32n minus 28 is more than 0. Such questions you will be able to answer once you factorize the equation. And the hint that will help you here is, when you come across the odd power of an n cube, the last term is going to be negative product of 3 roots. And that last term is minus 28. So minus minus gone. I could have my roots as a into b into c as 1 into 1 into 28, 2 into 2 into 7, 1 into 2 into 14, and some variation of plus and minus also could be possible. Minus 1 28, minus 2 7, and minus 1 minus 2 and 14. Some variation of plus minus is possible. So how do I get my roots? By replacing values. See, if I replace 1 in this, I have got 1 minus 11 plus 32 minus 28. Is it 0? Is it 0? This is 33 positive and this is 39 negative. It is not 0. So 1 is not my root. If 1 is not my root, these cases are gone. Before I start putting negative values, let me test a positive value. If I put 2 in this, I will have 8 minus 44 plus 64 minus 28. This is positive 72 and this is negative 72. Addition is 0, absolutely. So these are my roots, guys. If you want, you can put 7 and check as well. So if these are my roots, that tells me my equation is of the form n minus 2 into n minus 2 into n minus 7. That is basically n minus 2 square into n minus 7. Now we have talked about wavy curve method a couple of times in the previous session as well. You can look at the previous 2 recordings. This one has a root point of 2, this one has a root point of 7. Plus, minus, minus. When the power is even, the sign does not change. So I wanted it to have minimum possible value so that it remains positive. So I'm looking for values on the right side of 7, not even 7. 7 will make it 0. I want positive. So the minimum value of n fulfilling all these requirements is 8. Please observe, this is application of wavy curve. Even if you do not know what is wavy curve method, you can apply common sense. This bracket is a square. Squares are never negative. And this bracket must be made positive always. So that is values above 7, which is first value 8. That is the minimum possible value of n. Now, what does the next problem say? This is the end of the sheet for us. This is the last problem of algebra 2018. Let a1, a2 and so on and so forth up to a52 be positive integers such that a1, a1 is less than a2 is less than a3 is less than a52. Suppose that the arithmetic mean is 1 less than the arithmetic mean of a2, a3 and up to a52. Alright. If a52 is equal to 100, then the largest possible value of a1 is. I am being told that arithmetic mean of all the numbers combined is 1 less than the arithmetic mean of these numbers combined. If I assume the arithmetic mean of these numbers to be a, I am going to get a2 plus a3 plus a4 up to a52. There are 51 numbers. 51 into a. If I add the first sequence a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to a52, there are 52 numbers and the arithmetic mean is 1 less. This is what I will have. Now, if I rearrange these two, if I basically subtract these two, I will have a1 is equal to 52a minus 52 minus 51a. That is a minus 52 is the value of a1. Now, to get maxima or minima of a1, what I suggest you is you focus on these terms because a2, a52 is the largest term, and these terms, if they are closer, a1 will increase. So what are the closest value that I can have? 100, 99, 98 and so on and so forth up to 50. So what is average of these numbers? First number plus last number by 2. That is 75. To maximize A1, these numbers should be closest possible. Now, as the average overall is 75, the overall average being 75, if I put that information here, 75 minus 52 is the maximum value of A1. This is 3 and 23. So A1 maximum is 23. Focus. By bringing A1, A2, A3, A4 up to A52 closest possible, you are increasing the gap for A1. You are increasing values for A1. Because it was given to me that A2 is A52 is 100, I assume these to be consecutive natural numbers. So this is the end of the session for us. I'll see you guys in the next session in which I'll try and solve for you algebra questions from CAT 2019. If you liked it, like, subscribe and share. Have fun guys. Bye bye.